Alright, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to our second edition of Monday Night Raw here on the Ruthless Aggression Redone save. This new save I have that I'm already really enjoying and have a lot of fun things planned. Raw, of course, is going to be much easier to book than SmackDown, and SmackDown's not going to be too terribly hard to book. I'm still very confident that Mark Jindrak could have gotten an 85. Oh my god, it feels weird saying that, but if that creative finish didn't fail, Eddie Guerrero could have carried him. But yeah, so this is going to be the last week of these videos that I have pre-recorded, so unless I specify differently on SmackDown, the next Raw I should have uploaded after I've already uploaded the first video. Like I said, I like to pre-record a good week or two of these videos just to make sure, like, I do want to do, because a lot of times I'll be like, oh man, you know, it'd be a really fun save if I do this, and then I start doing it and either like, well, I don't actually really care for this mod, or this isn't nearly as fun as I thought it was, and then it's either just me dragging my feet through way too many episodes, or I get angry and really like pouty. It's a shame, but I did used to do that. I'm glad that I've calmed down more as just a human in recent years. But yeah, this should be the last week of the pre-recorded episodes. Would be really funny is if I don't have time to pre-record SmackDown and Velocity is taped as the first video is uploaded, but Heat isn't, and it's just a whole mess. But whatever, let's just get into Raw. So of course today we have two matches announced. We have the 15-man number one contenders battle royal. I do have everybody in this match. I have a full list. I'm not going to show you it. I have a full list of eliminations in order. So I think that's going to be a really fun thing to talk about. And then our main event, yes, I have the superhero in training, Rosie, in the main event as Evolution are defending their tag team titles against Hero Squad, Hurricane and Rosie. Anything can happen, I guess. But yeah, we do have some other squash matches beforehand. But without further ado, let's get into the show. And we kick off the show with Evolution, who are furious with Shawn Michaels. Evolution come out, Triple H grabs the microphone, and he demands to see Shawn Michaels right now. As at the end of the last show, Triple H lost once again to Shelton Benjamin at the hands of Shawn Michaels and Edge. Triple H, Batista, Randy Orton, and Ric Flair, they demand to see Michaels. And Shawn Michaels says, what? What did you expect me to do, Triple H? What did you expect me to do? For the past year, you have done nothing but below-the-belt attacks, low-effort wins, week in and week out against me. What did you expect me to just take the loss and move on? Did you expect me to just, oh, well, I've lost in that three-way, time to leave Triple H alone? No, I'm not going to. We were best friends. We had a great thing, and you threw that all away for Ric Flair, for Batista? If you think I'm gonna let up, then you don't know who I am. Then I don't know how I ever formed D-Generation X alongside you if you think I'm just going to keel over and let you do whatever you want. And tonight, your boys Batista and Ric Flair, they got a match against Hurricane and Rosie. Their tag team titles are on the line. I might just have to keep my eye on that, seeing as Randy Orton's in that number one contenders battle royal, and neither me or you can be in it. So I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. Maybe I should keep an eye on that tag team title match since my match later on tonight is going to be a cakewalk, because he's in a squash match, if that wasn't made clear. So an 81 to kick off the show, and Triple H really kind of gotten to, like, oh, fuck, he's going to be watching. And Randy Orton, it's just going to be down to me. If Randy Orton wins that battle, oh, shit. 81 to kick off the show. Our opening contest sees Trish Stratus defeat Nydia in 5 minutes and 34 seconds with the chick kick. Really good match here. Trish Stratus, good showcase from her, yeah. Christian on the last show won the Intercontinental Championship, and after a victory by Trish Stratus tonight, the Canadian power couple, with Gene Okerlund talking to him, they get all excited, and Christian's like, Tonight, I cement my legacy in this company. Tonight, I win that 15-man battle royal, throw everybody else out, myself, I win the battle royal, I go on, I beat Chris Benoit for his championship, I walk out with 2 championships. The Canadian power couple is going to be drowning in gold, because not only am I going to have the Intercontinental and the World Heavyweight Championship? I think it's about damn time we get Trish the Women's Championship back. 75, the Canadian power couple, making their intentions known tonight. I thought I missed the button again. Unfortunately, I did not. Wait, why would that be unfortunate? Whatever. We get an interview by Gene Okerlund, who finds Shawn Michaels and Edge backstage. I had to move a lot of angles around. I don't usually like Gene Okerlund running back and forth, but shit, I guess he just sprinted to the back and found Shawn Michaels. But he finds Shawn Michaels and Edge, and he essentially is like, Michaels, what did you mean when you said you're going to keep an eye on the tag team title match? And Shawn just straight up says, like, look, Gene, I don't like to give my playbook away, I really don't, but if Triple H knows me as well as he claims to know me, I think he knows exactly what I mean, and that's what the message I was trying to get across was. I wanted Triple H to know what I meant. And Edge tonight, he's going in that Battle Royal, and he's winning. And Edge, he starts cutting a promo, and he says, look, I can't lie, man. It felt really fucking good to get my revenge on Evolution. Randy Orton embarrassed me in my hometown. It felt great to get revenge. It felt great to embarrass Evolution, to prove to everyone that, you know what, Shelton Benjamin is that good of a wrestler. It's going to be hard. I got to face him in that Battle Royal tonight, too. Shelton Benjamin established himself as a star after beating Triple H twice. And it felt great. It felt great being a factor in that, making sure that Shelton Benjamin was not held back by Evolution. And tonight, I'm going to make it my personal mission that Evolution do not come out with a World Championship match. I will make sure that Randy Orton does not win that Battle Royal. 73 for this angle. We then get an angle from Evolution where Triple H, they're all in their locker room, and Triple H is kind of pacing back and forth. That promo earlier by Shawn Michaels really's worried Triple H. And Randy Orton says, Hunter, it's okay. Let's relax. Let's take a step back. There's no fucking way Batista and Flair are gonna lose to the Goof Troop, alright, Hunter? And tonight, I win that Battle Royal. I take that next step. I take my next evolution. I come to my new form, and I become the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. And Hunter's like, Orton, I have to stop you there. Shawn Michaels does not fuck around, Randy. I don't know what you were doing for the past 10 years, but if you don't understand who Shawn Michaels is, that man does not fuck around. Don't take this the wrong way, Orton, but you can't be in that Battle Royal. I've talked to Eric Bischoff, and I've taken you out of that Battle Royal. We have a change of plans, and Randy's like, whoa, what the fuck? This was supposed to be my night, and Hunter's like, dude, I'm sorry. Orton, you just gotta trust the process. You gotta believe in me. I am leading the charge of this group for a reason. Look at all the success we've had over the past year. Would we get that if you didn't trust me? And Randy Orton clearly agitated. He says, fine, I trust you. What's the new plan? 85 for that segment. Our next match sees the team... Oh, man, this was horrible. Our next match sees the team of Lita and Stacy Keibler take on some OVW girls, Shaniqua and Alexis LeRae. I don't know if Alexis LeRae is going to be anything in this business. I don't know about that one. But yeah, it gets a 39, pretty bad, as Stacy Keibler and Lita defeat the Jobbers in 4 minutes and 50 seconds, and after the match, Lita calls out Molly Holly. She demands to see Molly Holly. She says if Molly Holly's got a problem with me, Molly Holly needs to figure it out, confront me about the issues she has, and Molly Holly comes out, and she just kind of stands. She gets close to the ring, but she never enters it. And she's just looking at Lita and Stacy Keibler, and then Gail Kim jumps them from behind. As we saw in Heat, Gail Kim is not a huge fan of Stacy Keibler. She is like, what's with all the hype of Stacy Keibler, constantly getting like, oh, all this praise and attention? Is Stacy Keibler a former world champion? Fuck no, I am. Where's my attention? Well, it looks like Gail Kim's gonna get her attention one way or another, as Gail Kim and Molly Holly team up to take out Lita and Stacy Keibler. And we will have a match between these two teams next week, as it is announced later on in the show in like a video package or whatever. So Gail Kim and Molly Holly versus Stacy Keibler and Lita is happening next week. 45. We get a promo from William Regal, who says, today I was granted one hell of an opportunity. Randy Orton backed out of the Battle Royal. He knew that he could not live up to Triple H. He backed out of the Battle Royal, and Eric Bischoff has given me his spot. Last minute notice, Eric Bischoff gave me his spot, and I will make the most of it. I have spent too long doing buffoonery actions with Tajiri, playing around with the wrong people, not taking my career seriously, but tonight that changes. Tonight that changes when I take advantage of this opportunity given to me. 69 rated promo. William Regal is in the Battle Royal, and Randy Orton is now out of it. The next match, we get another promo from Kane. We saw a pretty weird promo from Kane on Heat, and we get another one where just essentially he's like, it seems like he's about to split into two different personalities. Kane, regular angry Kane, is cutting a promo about how losing to The Undertaker and then losing to Edge is really tilting him off the edge, and we just see like little clips of him like jolting and jittering, and he really looks like he's about to internally combust at all times. Kane seems to be a ticking time bomb here on Raw. Next segment, we get another angle between Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit, who once again tease possibly facing at the pay-per-view, as Chris Jericho is in the Battle Royal, and he looks at Benoit and he says, we've been through hell, we've wrestled in Japan, we've wrestled in Mexico, we've wrestled in the Fed. They probably wouldn't say the Fed, that's a me thing. We've wrestled here on SmackDown, yeah, probably because of the Attitude Era. We've wrestled here on Raw, but we've never wrestled for the world title. I'm a former world champion, you're the current world champion. We are the two greatest Canadian wrestlers that this company ever has to offer. We will have one of the greatest matches this company will ever see. The fans are going to want to see it. So Chris Benoit, I'm just giving you a heads up. When I win that Battle Royal, it's going to be over for your title reign. And Benoit just looks right at him and is like, I'll be happy to take you on. In fact, I'm hoping you win it. I hope you win it so that you can back up all this shit you're talking. But Jericho, we did wrestle in Japan. We did wrestle in Mexico. We have wrestled on SmackDown. We have wrestled on Raw. And I might be misremembering, but it seems like I'm usually the winner, isn't it? 78 for that segment. We get the Shawn Michaels squash match he alluded to against Mark Magnus. Italian man Mark Magnus, nothing more. I just wanted to prove to everyone who watched SmackDown, the squash matches work. I promise they work. They aren't working when I put fucking JBL in them. Just wanted to prove it. They stole the show also. Fun angle. Shawn Michaels is here. And Shawn Michaels has his match, and Triple H appears on the ramp, and he says, Shawn, I did take your threat very seriously. I took it so seriously. However, you're not going to be able to follow through on your promise because you won't be able to watch the match live. And Shawn's like, why not? And he is then jumped by Randy Orton, who hits him with an RKO out of nowhere, laying out Shawn Michaels. The two walk to the back as Shawn Michaels looks up in disgust before walking to the back, probably off to find them, if I would guess. So Shawn Michaels, it seems like he's able to walk. Maybe they got more planned. 85 for that. We have Paul Heyman confronting Eric Bischoff. It's been a few weeks since the draft, and Paul Heyman says, Bischoff, the McMahons are gone. What are we doing here? I know you run Raw. I used to run SmackDown. What's the deal? What's the deal here? Are we going to keep doing this game? I'm on commentary talking shit about you the whole time. You're back here talking to wrestlers, talking shit about me while what is this? Why don't you fire me, Eric? Why don't you just fire me? And Bischoff, he says bluntly, Paul, I want nothing more right now than to fire you. But the issue is I can't. See, the power structure in WWE is very weird nowadays. Ever since the McMahons left the company, the board of directors has kind of taken charge. There's no real one person in power. It's the group of the directors. They see all the outsides. They don't see WWE as the wrestling product. They handle WWE as a company, and they put people like us in charge of the shows. I'm in charge of Raw. Kurt Angle is currently in charge of SmackDown. And when you were made in charge of SmackDown and then drafted to Raw, you are now under me, but because you were a former department head of sorts, I don't have the grounds to fire you. I can't fire you. They have to fire you, and they won't. You can quit and not get your severance, but I can't fire you. So I'm your boss. I'm your immediate supervisor. You hold more power than everyone else on the roster, but me and Coach, and you're not Nitro, but me and Coach, and trust me, Paul, I want nothing more than to fire you. And Paul says, well, okay, can I fire people? And he's like, sort of. You can try. I have to approve it. The same with hirings. Look, Paul, I don't like you. I really don't. But I'm not going to stand here and try to ruin this brand. I'm not going to stand in the way of Raw. So, if you genuinely have a good reason for firing someone, I will hear you out. If you have a good reason for hiring someone, I will hear you out. I agree, us constantly taking pot shots at one another isn't going to be constructive in any way. So, if you got ideas, bring them to me. But until then, please sit at the fucking commentary booth where I don't have to see you. 77. I wanted to put this angle here mainly to just describe what's going on in kayfabe. Because in Shoot, we know what's going on. So, in our universe, in Shoot, Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman are the owners of WWE. But, because in kayfabe, Eric Bischoff is the GM of Raw, and Kurt Angle is the GM of SmackDown, I wanted to do this little angle explaining why Eric Bischoff doesn't have control of SmackDown, and why Paul Heyman doesn't have control of anything, and why Eric Bischoff doesn't just fire him. So, in kayfabe, there's this mythological board of directors that we don't know and will never see that are essentially taking the role of Vince McMahon, where Eric Bischoff and Kurt Angle, interim, are like department heads of Raw and SmackDown. So, this literally was just exposition dump the angle. So, if you're wondering why am I listening to 64 argue with himself, that's why. I wanted to explain what the kayfabe is for this weird universe that I have created. So, 77 for Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman, explaining to you guys how things go. And up next is the number 1 Contenders Battle Royal. Here is everything that happened. I forgot that it was next, so I wanted to go line by line, so let's go, and you know what, you've seen it already. So we kick off the match. The first elimination is Johnny Nitro. Him and Garrison Cade are teaming up on Tajiri, and they try to throw him out, but Tajiri gets a head scissors on Johnny Nitro and is able to eliminate him. Garrison Cade continues the attack on Tajiri, despite Nitro being dumped out. Lance Storm is thrown out by Matt Hardy. That will be important in a future angle on a different show. Eventually, Garrison Cade does win the fight with Tajiri. Johnny Nitro jumps up back on the apron to help Garrison Cade eliminate Tajiri. At this point in the match, Kane starts going on a rampage. He starts really taking control of this match. He dumps out Al Snow. He dumps out Garrison Cade right onto Johnny Nitro. He continues to dominate. But we then have a little break from Kane eliminations as the Intercontinental Champion Christian is thrown out by Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy eliminates the Intercontinental Champion, and Christian is stunned. Trish Stratus at ringside is stunned. Can't believe that Christian has been eliminated. And Matt Hardy is taunting Christian. Like, haha, I just eliminated the IC champion. And then Val Venus comes up from behind and tries to eliminate Matt Hardy. He tries to pull a fast one on Matt Hardy, but Matt is able to reverse it and eliminate Val Venus, who is still mad about that loss on Backlash. And now Val Venus thwarted once again by Matt Hardy, who Val Venus vowed revenge on. Back to the Kane domination, we have Rhino trying to go toe-to-toe with him unsuccessfully. Kane throws out Rhino. We have Matt Hardy caught in the crossfire of Kane, also eliminated. And then Kane goes after Shelton Benjamin, and he goes to throw him out, but Shelton Benjamin hangs on, and he tries to choke him out while he's on the apron, but Shelton Benjamin grabs him by the hand and yanks him over. Shelton Benjamin eliminates Kane, and Kane looks like he's about to fucking light the entire building on fire, but the referees, every single referee, fucking just immediately goes right to Kane and makes sure that, nothing can happen. Like, there's this whole kerfluffle in the ring with Kane, and then as that's happening, the refs, every single one of them distracted. Triple H and Randy Orton run in. Triple H hits Shelton Benjamin with a pedigree. Randy Orton hits Edge with an RKO, and then they dump out of the ring. They dip, and A-Train and William Regal are able to scoop up both Shelton Benjamin and Edge and dump them out thanks to Triple H and Randy Orton running in while the opportunity was primed to eliminate their rivals. Orton and Triple H screw Edge and Shelton Benjamin out of this battle royal. It now comes down to A-Train, Chris Jericho, and William Regal. A-Train and William Regal have been teaming up this entire match. And it is a uphill battle for Jericho as A-Train and Regal teaming up. A-Train looks to run and clothesline Jericho out, but Jericho pulls the bottom rope, eliminates A-Train. William Regal climbs right behind him, clothesline. William Regal, who wasn't even originally supposed to be in this battle royal, comes away with the victory, and he will be facing Chris Benoit at the pay-per-view for the World Heavyweight Championship. 70 rated overall battle royal. We advanced a bunch of storylines here. So yeah, I had fun reading that battle royal. That was a very fun battle royal to book. I'm sorry if it was a little hard to follow. I'm sorry. But yeah, William Regal, of all people. I'm sure nobody was gonna guess that last week's show, but I love William Regal, and I want to give him a world title match, especially because I have a different match planned for the main event, so I don't need Benoit to have a 5-star classic, which he could with Regal, but the way that the TEW popularity system works, he won't. So a 70 for this battle royal, and Chris Benoit comes out to confront his new challenger, where he kind of like looks up and down William Regal, and he's like, really? This is my challenger? This guy? He can't even... And Regal's like, look, Benoit, you can push me off, cast me away all you want, but all it takes is one lucky right hand. One lucky right hand with a little extra help, and that world title's mine. You can write me off all you want as a joke, as a buffoon. All it takes is a little ingenuity, and I'm the new world champion. 73 rated angle. After the battle royal, Edge and Shelton Benjamin reunite with Shawn Michaels, and they start looking for Evolution. Shawn Michaels ambushed earlier. Edge and Shelton Benjamin ambushed in the battle royal. They look everywhere for Evolution, but right as they're about to find him, they are then taken out all at once. One massive 3-man spear by Batista lays out Edge and Michaels and Benjamin, and the four of them just start a beatdown, a full-on beatdown on the baby faces. And Triple H, he's stomping, and he says, Michaels, fucking try to come out during that main event. Try to screw over Evolution. Try your hardest. 82 for this angle. Our final angle before the main event sees Lillian Garcia appearing once again, finding Paul Heyman at the announcer's table, and she pulls Paul Heyman off to a side, and you can barely hear what's going on, but you can hear it through Paul Heyman's microphone. Essentially, Lillian Garcia says, hey Paul, I got a bone to pick with Eric too. I have a major bone to pick with Eric. He sends Jonathan Coachman to do his dirty work. You want to get back at him. I know you do. I know you want to get back at him for essentially demoting you, putting you out here, forcing you to work for him. Alright? He tried to fire me without giving me severance. He's trying to continue to underpay me. I got an idea, Paul. Let's work together. I have an idea. And Paul says, fine. Let's talk details after the show. 65, Lillian Garcia, of all people, is going to work with Paul Heyman to try to take down Eric Bischoff. But it is time for our main event. It gets a 75. Batista dislocates his shoulder. Fuck. Rats. That sucks a lot. But But in 13 minutes and 33 seconds, the superheroes were not able to pull off the upset. Evolution gets the victory. Batista hits the Hurricane with a spine buster. Shawn Michaels does come out at one point. He comes out at one point, but Shawn Michaels is bruised and battered, and Triple H is able to stop Shawn Michaels from doing anything, clotheslining him to the ground. Evolution get the victory. We can have a hope spot, I guess. Ric Flair's distracted by Shawn Michaels, who's at ringside, and then Hurricane gets a quick roll-up, but it's broken up by Batista, who then hits him with a spear, tags in, spinebuster, 1, 2, 3. Evolution are still your tag team champions, and Evolution stand tall. The 4 members, they're standing tall, until, God damn it. If you smell, The Rock is here again. The Rock and Mick Foley are here again. They come out, Evolution run away, and The Rock grabs a microphone and he says, "Where are you guys running to? Where are you going?" The Rock says, "You got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. We're coming for you. Did you think I was making empty threats? Did you think I'm all talk? I'm not all talk. In fact, I'm more than all talk, because next week, it's going to be the 4 of you and anybody else you want against Michaels, Foley, Benjamin, Edge, and myself. That's right. The Rock is going to be wrestling on Monday Night Raw in a 5 versus 5 against Evolution. So scrape through the vats of hell if you have to, because I know damn well you 4 don't have any other friends. You can come 4v5 if you want, just like you faced The Rock and Mick Foley at WrestleMania with an advantage. How about you feel what it's like to not have an advantage? Fuck you. But yeah, major announcement by The Rock. He will be wrestling on the next Monday Night Raw alongside the babyfaces to take on Evolution and somebody else in a 5v5 match. 87 rated angle to end the show. 81 overall. Not as good as that incredible main event last week. But, yeah, I think it did pretty well for having Hurricane and Rosie in the main event. The creative finish helped out a lot. And, honestly, yeah, I can't say I'm mad at all. I can't say I'm mad at all with this show. I am happy, very happy with this show. Shelton Benjamin's gonna get over. William Regal gonna face Chris Benoit at the pay-per-view at Bad Blood. That's the first match announced for Bad Blood. And yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this edition of Ruthless Aggression Reborn. I hope you all have enjoyed this episode, and I hope you all are liking what I'm doing with the Fed. I hope you're liking the direction I am taking with this company. I feel like I'm really going wild, going out there, and it's kind of hard not to when you make a database with Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman running the company. So, yeah, like I said, I hope you all enjoyed this edition of Monday Night Raw, and I hope you all come back for episode number 6. For SmackDown? Is it episode number 6? No, this is 6. Episode number 7, the second SmackDown of the series.